You've been telling yourself the same stories for so long that you've forgotten that they're just stories and you think they're facts. I'm not good with money. I'm not creative. I'm just too old. This is how I really am. You've said these things so many times that they feel like the truth. But here's what's actually happening. You're running someone else's script and calling it your identity. So try this experiment this week. Step 1. Write down 3 stories that you tell yourself about who you are or what you're capable of. Step 2. Ask, where did this story come from? Who taught me this? When did I decide this was permanent? That I'm not creative story. Maybe a teacher said something once. Maybe you failed at art class when you were 12 and decided that that meant something forever. Step 3. Now ask, what evidence am I ignoring that contradicts this story? Because I guarantee you have proof that this story isn't true. You're just not looking at it. When you do this, something cracks open because you realize these aren't facts about who you are. They're just programs you picked up somewhere and never questioned. You're not trapped by your past. You're trapped by the stories you keep telling yourself about your past. Try it this week. Pick one story, just one. Ask where it came from. Comment and tell me what you discovered. And if you want the full experiment guide with 5 of these for adults, the link is in the bio below. And it's free because after decades of running the same code, you deserve to see what you're actually capable of. You're not stuck. You're just reading from an old script. Your comfort zone isn't keeping you safe, it's keeping you stuck, and it's getting smaller every year. Think about something that you used to do easily that now feels impossible. Meeting new people, taking risks, having hard conversations. Here's what's actually happening. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the more your tolerance for discomfort shrinks. Your world gets smaller and smaller until you're afraid of things that wouldn't have bothered you 10 years ago. So try this experiment this week. Step 1, draw a circle, and inside write everything that feels comfortable to you right now. Your routines, your relationships, your daily choices. Outside the circle, write 4 things. One thing you used to do that feels hard now. One thing you want to do but keep avoiding. One conversation you're not having. One risk you're not taking. Step 3, pick the smallest one. Not the scariest, the smallest one. And ask, what would the first step look like? Not the whole journey, just step 1. Then do it this week and feel the discomfort. Survive it. When you do this, you remember something you forgot. Uncomfortable doesn't mean dangerous, just means unfamiliar. You've survived worse than this. Your comfort zone is lying to you about what you can handle. Try it this week. Pick the smallest uncomfortable thing and then do it anyway. Comment and tell me what happened when you survived it. And if you want the full guide with 5 experiments, there's a link in the bio. And it's free. After years of playing it safe, you deserve to remember how capable you really are. You're not fragile. Your comfort zone just convinced you that you are. You stopped asking what if as a possibility and started using it against yourself. Kids ask what if all day. What if the dinosaurs came back? What if I could fly? Then We grow up and what if becomes, what if I fail? What if they laugh at me? What if I'm too old? What if it doesn't work? Here's what's actually happening. You have more capability now than you ever had as a kid. More resources, more knowledge, more agency, but you're using what if to paralyze yourself instead of using it to explore. So, step one, pick one what if that scares you in a good way. Not catastrophic, possibility. The kind that makes your heart beat faster before the fear kicks in. What if you started that business? What if you went back to school? What if you pursued that thing that you gave up 20 years ago? Step two, don't think about the whole journey. Just ask, what would step one look like? What if you researched it? What if you made one phone call? What if you set aside 1 hour this week to explore it? Step three, do step one. Not the whole thing, but just the first step. See what happens. When you do this, something shifts, because what if stops being the thing that stops you and starts being the thing that starts you. You just have to aim it in the right direction, towards possibility instead of paralysis. Pick your what if. Take step one. Comment and tell me what your what if was. If you want the full guide with 5 experiments, the guide is in the link below, and it's free. Because after years of using what if to talk yourself out of something, you deserve to use what if to talk yourself into something. What if it actually works? You're not afraid of change. You're afraid of loss. And that fear is costing you everything. Loss of identity, loss of security, loss of the life that you have built, even if that life is not making you happy anymore. Because at least you know this life. You know the rules. You know who you are in it. Change means unknown territory, and unknown means you might lose something. Here's what's actually happening. You're gonna lose something either way. Stay the same, you lose time. You lose possibility. You lose who you could have become. So try this experiment tonight. Step one, think about the change you keep avoiding. The one that keeps coming up. Write it down. Step two, ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing if I make this change? Be specific. Not everything will fall apart. What specifically am I afraid of losing? Your comfort? Your relationship? Your identity? Your sense of control? Step 3. Now ask the hard question. Is keeping this thing worth giving up who I could become? Sit with that. Really sit with that. Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes what you have is worth protecting. But sometimes, maybe most times, you're protecting something that's already gone. When you do this, you see it clearly. You're not protecting your future. You're protecting your past. A version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. A life that stopped fitting years ago. Fear of change isn't the problem. Mistaking the past for the future is. Try it tonight. Write down what you're really afraid of losing. Comment and tell me what you discovered. And if you want the full guide with 5 experiments, there's a link in the bio. Because after years of choosing comfort over growth, you deserve to know what you're actually protecting. You're going to lose something either way. Choose what you love. You wouldn't let your kids talk to themselves the way you talk to yourself. Somehow when it's your voice, though, you believe it. I always mess up. Nobody listens to me. It's too late for me. People like me don't do that. You've got scripts running in your head that are older than your marriage, older than your career, and you're still reading from them like they're the truth. Here's what's really happening. These aren't observations. They're lines you memorized so long ago, you've forgotten that you were acting. So, try this experiment tonight. Step 1. Write down the script, the thing that you say to yourself when you're thinking about making changes or trying something new. Write it exactly how it sounds in your head. Step 2, read it like someone else wrote it. Would you let your best friend talk to themselves this way? Would you accept this script from your kid? Step 3, rewrite it. Not with toxic positivity, but just with truth. Old script, I always mess this up. New script, I've messed up before, and I've also succeeded before. This is just another attempt. That's it. That's the rewrite. When you do this, you see it. You've been the writer, the director, and the actor in a play you didn't even realize you were performing. And the wildest part, you can change the script anytime you want. You just have to see it as a script first. Try it tonight. Write the script. Rewrite the script. Start with 1. Comment and tell me what your old script was. And if you want the full guide with 5 experiments, there's a link in the comment below. And it's free. Because after decades of running the same lines, you deserve to write something new. You're not stuck in who you are. You're stuck in what you keep saying about who you are. Most of what you know about how life works, you learned before you were old enough to question it, and you've been running on that operating system ever since. How relationships work, you learned that from your parents when you were 10. What success means, you learned that from your high school guidance counselor. What's possible for people like you, society told you that before you could think critically. Here's what's actually happening. You're running your life on beliefs that were installed decades ago, based on other people's limitations, not yours. So try this experiment this week. Step 1, pick one belief you have about how the world works, about what you're supposed to do, about what's realistic or possible for you. Step 2, ask yourself 3 questions. Is this actually true? Or something that I was taught? Or who taught me this? What did they know? What was true for them might not be what's true for me. What evidence do I have that contradicts this belief? Step 3, sit with the possibility that this belief, this thing you've accepted as truth for your entire life, might just be inherited programming. You don't have to reject it. Just recognize it as programming. When you do this, things crack open because you realize some of what you know is wisdom, but some of it is just someone else's fear that you make your own. This isn't about rejecting everything you were taught. It's about finding out what's actually true for you. Try it this week. Pick one belief and question where it came from. Comment and tell me what belief you're examining. And if you want the guide with 5 experiments, there's a link in the comment below. And it's free because after decades of running someone else's programming, you deserve to find out what's actually yours. Question everything. Keep what's yours. Let go of what isn't. Most of your life is running on autopilot, and you don't even know it. Your morning routine, autopilot. How you respond to criticism, stress, and conflict, autopilot. All autopilot. Running on programs installed when you were 20. You think you're making choices. You're not. You're running code. So try this experiment tomorrow. Step 1, set 3 random alarms on your phone throughout the day. When they go off, stop whatever you're doing. Step 2, ask yourself, was I consciously choosing what I was doing, or was I on autopilot? If someone asked me why I was doing it, what would I say? That argument you just had with your partner, did you consciously choose your response? Or did you react the same way you always react? Step 3. Before you react to anything today, criticism, frustration, unexpected news, pause for just 3 seconds. Just 3. Notice what reaction wants to happen before you let it happen. That gap between stimulus and response, that's where freedom lives. When you do this, it's uncomfortable because you realize how much of your day you're not actually present for. How many decisions are just reruns? The moment you notice you're on autopilot, you're not on autopilot anymore. You can't change what you can't see. Try it tomorrow. 3 alarms, 3 check-ins. See what's running in the background. Comment. Tell me what you noticed. And if you want the full guide with 5 experiments, there's a link in the bio. It's free. Because after decades of running the same programs, you deserve to know what code is running your life. You're not stuck. You just haven't looked at the operating system. Your brain is not fixed, and that's not motivational poster nonsense. That's neuroscience, and it changes everything. Every time you think a thought, your brain creates a pathway. Think it enough times, and that pathway becomes a highway. Automatic, unconscious, the default route. That's how you got here. Decades of the same thought, same reactions, same choices, neural superhighways running the same routes over and over. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain doesn't know how old you are. It just responds to repetition, which means you can build new highways at any age. So try this experiment starting today. Pick one new thought pattern that you want to create, not 10, 1. Maybe it's, I can handle hard things instead of this is too much. Maybe it's, I'm learning instead of I'm failing. Step 2, every time the old highway activates, and it will constantly, you constantly choose the new path out loud if you have to. That's the old highway. Here's the new one. I can handle this. Step 3, do this every single time for 2 weeks. It'll feel fake, like you're lying to yourself. That's fine. You're not lying, you're building. A footpath becomes a trail. A trail becomes a road. A road becomes a highway. When you do this, something incredible happens. After about 2 weeks, the new pathway starts activating on its own. The old highway is still there, but you're not taking it automatically anymore. You built the old highway without even trying. Imagine what you could build on purpose. Start today. Pick one new thought. Build the pathway. Comment and let me know what pathway you're building. And if you want the full guide with 5 experiments, the link is below in the comments. And it's free. Because after decades of running the same neural highways, you deserve to know you can build new ones. Your brain isn't fixed. Patterns are just practiced. You check your bank account, you check your oil, but you never check what's actually running in your head. And that's costing you everything. Your brain generates thousands of thoughts each day. Most of them are garbage, repetitive loops, old fears, borrowed beliefs, mental junk mail. And you're letting all of it run your life. Here's what's actually happening. You go decades without ever auditing your thoughts. You just think that whatever shows up and assume it must be important. It must be true. It must be you. So try this experiment tonight before bed. Step 1. Set aside 5 minutes, just 5, and ask yourself, what thoughts keep showing up today? What was I telling myself? What stories was I running? Write them down if you need to. Step 2. Ask, which of those thoughts was actually useful? Which ones moved me forward? Which ones helped me solve a problem or make a decision? Step 3. Now ask, which ones were just noise? Which ones were the same loop I ran yesterday and the day before and the day before that? You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to positive think your way out of real problems. But you do have to know what's running in the background. When you do this, you see the patterns, the same 3 thoughts running on repeat for months, years, decades. And the moment you see them as patterns, not truths, just patterns, you can decide whether to keep them running or not. Try it tonight. Do the audit, 5 minutes. See what's been running on repeat. Comment and tell me what patterns you discovered. And if you want the full guide with 5 experiments, there's a link in the comments below. And it's free, because after decades of letting every thought run wild, you deserve to know what code is actually running your life. You can't change what you don't see. Start seeing. Your comfort zone isn't keeping you safe. It's keeping you stuck, and it's getting smaller every year. Think about something that you used to do easily that now feels impossible. Meeting new people, taking risks, having hard conversations. Here's what's actually happening. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the more your tolerance for discomfort shrinks. Your world gets smaller and smaller until you're afraid of things that wouldn't have bothered you 10 years ago. So try this experiment this week. Step 1. Draw a circle, and inside, write everything that feels comfortable to you right now. Your routines, your relationships, your daily choices. Step 2. Outside the circle, write 4 things. 1 thing you used to do that feels hard now. 1 thing you want to do but keep avoiding. 1 conversation you're not having. 1 risk you're not taking. Step 3, pick the smallest one. Not the scariest, the smallest one. And ask, what would the first step look like? Not the whole journey, just step 1. Then do it this week and feel the discomfort. Survive it. When you do this, you remember something you forgot. Uncomfortable doesn't mean dangerous. It just means unfamiliar. You've survived unfamiliar before. You've survived worse than this. Your comfort zone is lying to you about what you can handle. Try it this week. Pick the smallest uncomfortable thing and then do it anyway. Comment and tell me what happened when you survived it. And if you want the full guide with 5 experiments, there's a link in the bio. And it's free. After years of playing it safe, you deserve to remember how capable you really are. You're not fragile. Your comfort zone just convinced you that you are.